Hello everyone, Memory here. The fairy system has been out for a year or two now. It's about time for it to receive some changes. Or more like, it's about time for Kakao to think of a new way to milk us again. The February 5th update has some big changes on the fairy system. The chance of getting a brilliant fairy wings, which is the T3 fairies from the seal fairy wings, is doubled. And the EXP required to level up T3 fairies is reduced by 15%. So what does that mean? It means now it's cheaper and easier for everyone to reroll for their desired T4 fairy skills. If you're new and not familiar with the fairy system, click here on the screen to watch the Lazy Man starter package on how to get yourself a T4 fairy. I didn't have a mic back then, so you have to do some reading. Anyways, if you are a free player or if you don't want to pay to win yourself a perfect T4, it's a good news for you because the free-to-play rerolling method is now made easier. Basically, you just get a T3, sprout it to T4, rinse and repeat. But you're probably not here for that. You're here to watch me suffer from the pay-to-win RNG using the new cash up skill change item and test out how the system actually works. Because the official website makes sure that the information are as limited, unclear and hidden as possible. So you might misuse it and end up spending more than what you originally think you were gonna spend. I'll get to that a bit later, but first I want to go through how the new item works and the things you might want to know before you use it. So yes, the cash out fairy skill change item called the Thea's orb? The skill orb. So basically how the skill orb works is if your fairy has one changeable skill, you need one orb to reset that one skill. If your fairy has 4 skills, then it takes 4 orbs to reset one skill of your choice. What does this mean? Well, it means after some boring statistic calculation, it works out to be cheaper if you level your T4 to level 10 first, reroll the skill until you get the one you wanted, and then level it to level 20, reroll the second skill, and repeat. This sounds really expensive, and it is, but it might not be as bad as it sounds. So here I assume the chance of getting every skill is equal, so level 1 feathery step has the same chance as level 5 feathery step and every other skills. And also assuming you want to get the max level of all 4 skills of your choosing. So at level 10 you have 4 out of 25 chance of getting what you want, and each attempt costs 1 orb, which means you'll need to spend 6.25 orbs on average to get what you want. Using the same logic, the final skill needs 40 orbs on average to hit the target. Long story short, the total expected amount of orbs to get 4 max level skills of your choice is 82, which is around $205. And if you don't mind getting level 4 on some skills, the expected cost will be cut to $103. And if you just care about 2 level 4 or 5 skills, then the expected cost will be cut to $25. I personally would recommend getting level 5 Feathery Step and level 5 Miraculous Cheer. These 2 skills are the most useful out of any other skills, and once you have them, you can't really go back. If you're already spending for this, might as well just get the level 5 for them. From what I've heard, most people who do it got the 2 main skills within $50, so it shouldn't be too bad, I guess. Other skills, maybe getting a Morning Star could be handy from time to time, but the rest of the skills are just not as useful or not as cost efficient to get. I personally spent 120 worth of unnecessary OCD regret amount of dollars, and I got all 4 max level skills of my choice. I could have stopped at the $70 mark when I already got 3 skills, but I decided to keep going to test the system out. The reason for the regret is that the final skill for me is Fairy's Tier, which only had 4 levels. I already had level 3 when I hit the $70 mark, and after a few weeks of using it, I realized that there is not much difference between level 3 and level 4. So essentially I spent $70 for 3 highly useful skills, which is decent, and then proceed to spend an extra $50 just to make my fairy skill page looks a little better, which is dumb. But what's done is done, learn from my mistake and don't be like me. So what can you do with this perfect fairy? Well, the feathery step disables the weight penalty until you reach a certain percentage over 100 depending on the level of the skill, essentially increasing the weight limit of all of your character by 25% at level 5. That means if you have a polar bear that gives you 50 weight, now it gives you 62.5 instead. If you have a Manos golden belt that gives you 100 weight, now it gives you 125 instead. Generally speaking, most of the characters should have around 700 or more weight, and every 100 weight is around $8. That means if you have 19 characters, which is the max character limit at the point of this video, now you all of a sudden received around $266 worth of weight limit. This is extremely powerful for most of the content in Black Desert. If you do cooking or alchemy, now you can put more materials on you so you can AFK for longer. If you do PvP or PvE, you can hold more potions and trash loot, so on and so forth. You get the idea. If you're only aiming for one skill, this will be the skill you definitely want to max. The next skill, Miraculous Cheer. At max level, it eliminates the need for you to ever have to mash buttons for pot. This is more useful for PvP and maybe some high level PvE areas. This is just a quality of life perk, but it is still very useful because sometimes the fairy can pot faster than you can spam, especially if there's a delay of some sort and the game stopped receiving commands for a few milliseconds. The third skill I got is Morning Star, which is just nice to have while doing stuff at night. It's not necessary because you can easily buy the illuminating fairy thing from the general vendor for essentially free. But I'm lazy and the more things I don't have to worry about, the better. And then the rest of the skills are just small quality of life perks. I chose Fairies tier because it makes sure that if I ever die in the world boss for whatever reason, I can always revive on the spot to get the loot. And by the way, the max level of Fairies tier is level 4, and you'll see this little small golden M sign on the skill picture showing that it is at max level. However, this M sign was not included in the update with the skill orbs, so if this patch is new to your region, the M sign might not be present. So just be careful not to reset level 4 Fairies tier if you want this skill. Anyways, that's it for today. Subscribe if you like it, and good luck for your T4 Fairies, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.